Like example, some codes will execute when you install the Maven full pack, right? Some codes can execute even without full pack, that is plugin. But some codes will not execute by plugin. You have to install full pack. So that depends on use case only, guys. We cannot determine what will work. It depends on the use case or it depends on the code that they have written. Okay. So plugin method is a second most preferred choice. In most of the IT companies, they choose the full pack method as the first choice. Correct. The mostly used in IT industry is full pack only. So majority of the code which is written by particular language. So in your project, you'll find dominatingly when one particular language is being used for that coding. So under that circumstances, and you'll see that very complex frameworks have used it in their coding, then the better choice is go with full pack. Example, Maven, which we done in the couple of classes, correct? So even without downloading the Maven, you can also try plugin, but we did not try because we want to learn the subject of Maven. That is the reason. So that is a full pack method. Now, sometimes what happens is third use case will go. So this is very peculiar, but this is not a regular use case. Keep in mind, this is not a regular use case, but here and there you'll come across this use case being used. Here and there it will come. But what are that use case? So company will decide not to use a plugin, not to use a full pack. That means they don't want to use anything. Something like at your home, guys, they don't want to cook biryani. Correct, sorry. They don't want to buy the biryani. They want to cook inside. That means at your home, your parent decided, no, we'll not order anything. We'll just get the ingredients and cook ourselves. So that is homemade. So likewise in the Jenkins also, the homemade concept is coming. That homemade concept is nothing but writing the pipeline script. So instead of depending on third-party plugins and third-party tools to get your build done, so we can use the scripting methodology here to create your own build process. That means like we write the code to develop an application, likewise we write a script to do the build process. Am I clear on this point? What I'm talking? First of all, you need to catch the logic there. See, we write the code to develop the application. That makes sense, correct? But again, here we write a code or a script to perform the build process on the code. So if that is a use case, then that is called pipeline scripts actually. And whenever you write a script to do a build process itself, so that script or approach, we call it as pipeline as a code. Clear? You understood, guys? There is a specific name given in the industry, that pipeline as a code. That means you're writing the code to get your pipeline developed. See, we have one nice example I'll show you in my project also. Go to the pipelines. Okay. So I'll show you one pipeline sample. Our fellows have written some code for it. I mean to say, so you see this microservices applications. You see this full build and gated. There are some pipelines out there. We did not write any code. So we just utilized the plugins of Azure and got our pipeline ran. This is a nice similar example to somewhat Jenkins. So we used some plugins. So these are all called tasks here. In Azure, these are called tasks, but in Jenkins, we call them as plugins. Similar way of concept. So we utilized the plugins or tasks here and get our work done. But same example, similar. So we did not use the plugins or the tasks of the Azure, but we went ahead and written our own code there. So one sample I'll show you. This one, reporting templates. So let's say this is a pipeline. So when you click on this, edit, it is telling that the code is written at this place. The code is written here. How to happen the build process. You getting guys what I'm talking? So somewhat it is telling that in this repo. So I'll show it. Somebody so this that code is written in PowerShell actually. So that's a different. So I'm trying to show you to make you understand that code is also written to do the build process. Forget about the plugins and full pack. So I'm talking about a different use case here. See, so you say they have written some code here. Just in my project I'm talking about. So they have written some code to do the build process. So that is what I'm trying to tell you. So there can be a situation in your project where you write the code even for the build process. So if you're writing the code for the build process, then we call that as pipeline as a code. Now, coming to the concept here. So this method you should apply or comes into usage when you do not find any plugin for that particular use case. See guys, there is no bus. Imagine no train, no bus, no train, no aircraft or no aeroplane to the destination. What you will do? What you will do, guys? You want to go to the destination. What you will do? There is no bus, no train, no aeroplane, no flight. You have to take your own steps, right? Whether you travel with your car or a bike or a cycle or you walk, it's up to you. So the concept comes is there. You have to take the initiation there, right? You're not trying to depend on third party anymore. The same example is here. So when you do not find any particular use case, that is one situation. You don't find any plugin, or there can be use case where so and so use case build tools are not available. Build tools are not there. And third thing is altogether crazy thought that though you have a build tool, though you have a plugin, company does not want to go with them, or the project team does not want to go with them. They want to customize their own build process. You know why they customize? This is what you need to know first of all. What is the reason for customization, guys? Generally, customization techniques require scripting. Generally, all this customized build process you will write in some scripting only. That's the reason in DevOps they ask you to have little scripting knowledge. So the reason is security and the cost. Drastically, the cost will come down, and customization helps you to overcome lot of headaches also. Compatibility issues, you can customize up to your own level because script is written by you, logic is written by you, logic is maintained by you. So it's all everything own, and from the security perspective also it is somewhat you'll feel secure, and also cost is reduced because we are not dependent on third party plugin for buying a license, nor it is like we are not dependent on anybody. So ultimately the cost will come down definitely. Am I clear on this point why they use the scripting or pipeline as a code? Yeah. Okay. Now let's bother about the Jenkins story here, right? So in the Jenkins, the script is written using Groovy scripting. Groovy. Okay. Groovy scripting is what recommended. So Jenkins suggests or demands that you write the pipeline as a code following the Groovy scripting principles only. The reason is Java itself, this Jenkins itself is developed using Java. So Groovy is also one of the derivative languages of Java only. Offshoot, you can say it has evolved from Java, Groovy. So the people who are little good with the core Java, I'm telling you frankly, if you have little knowledge about any language, whether it could be C, C++, Java or a Python core minimum, then you can play with your Groovy scripting. Clear? Okay. Now the question comes is who writes these scripts? Who writes the scripts, guys? Who will write the script? So two things are there, guys. Frankly, there are two things are there. So it looks little confusing. See, a lot of people try to confuse you, but you need to know the ground facts of the industry. So let's say in your resume, you kept that I know Java. Somewhere in the resume, they see the Java. Basically, they expect that since you are working in DevOps profile, they expect that you can handle, see the word I said, handle Groovy scripting. Make sense? You understood now? That is very logic only. If in the resume they see that you are Java oriented candidate, already you know little Java, and definitely they expect you to handle Groovy scripting because whatever Groovy scripting is not hard, it is easy only. So that is not a big deal. This is one thing. So let's say you are the same DevOps engineer, but no Java in your profile, right? Okay. They see that you are good talented with other scriptings, maybe PowerShell, or let's say PowerShell, or let's say Bash scripting. Getting? You may not know Groovy scripting, but you know other scriptings. So under that circumstances, the expectation is that still you can handle the Groovy scripting. However, you require the assistance of a developer. This is what normally happens in any organization. So when you're writing a pipeline in the Groovy scripting, okay, since you have the talent of either knowing the PowerShell scripting or Bash scripting or any other scriptings, let's say Python scripting, any other scripting, they expect that you can still handle the Groovy scripting, but not independently. Something like you're handling the things for you as an assistance or a support. They will assign you some developer or 2 or 3 people to work with you. Make sense? This I'm telling you from my experience, guys. I saw this with the people and also I see in my organization also. Clear on this point? Everybody, I don't know why you guys are calm. So end of the day, the bottom line is you have to handle the Groovy scripting, but that will be a last use case. Clear now? But if you don't know the scripting, see altogether, you'll find such people like DevOps only, no Java or no language, no other language you don't know, and you don't know the scripting, not even scripting, then they as a company or as a project manager, I'll understand that pipeline as a code is not possible by you. Make sense? Such task will not be given to you, but if you have a challenge or a guts to learn, then and there they will give it. But if you say no, I cannot handle, that's fine. They will assign such tickets to any other person. Clear? Maybe you will be handling other things, but not that part. Understood now? Everybody on same page? So now you have to take a decision whether you want to go with scripting or not. It's up to you. So let's go in, guys. Now there are two types of scripts are there in the Jenkins. When you're writing the pipeline as a code in the Jenkins, so there are two types of scripting types are there: scripted pipeline and declarative pipeline. And what you see on the screen, scripted pipeline and the declarative pipeline are Most frequently asked questions in the interview. So tell me the difference between a scripted pipeline and declarative pipeline. So this is a super important interview question, guys. I'm telling you, 10 interviews, pakka 5 to 6 interviews, they'll ask you this question only. Scripted and declarative. So scripted pipeline is a old method which we are not using now. That's the first clarity. And this uses the Groovy style of scripting. And scripted pipeline does not have any predefined structure in a pipeline. No predefined structure. And order of the logic looks more sequential. More sequential, guys. Now in the declarative, so which is a new method and it is currently in use. So blindly you can say scripted is a not in use case. So scripted is a not in use, so you can ignore. But most of the companies currently they are using declarative pipeline. It's a new approach. It's a new method. It also follows the same Groovy. And the structure of writing the so it contains some predefined structure of the pipeline. So when you want to write the pipeline code, some predefined structure they have given. So you need to just feed the values into that structure. That is what you need to do. And the logic is completely written in a structure format only. Okay, so this is a big difference. Now, if you want to see the scripted pipeline, this is an example. First, you want to see the scripted pipeline. This is good example. So scripted pipeline method contains only 2 blocks, guys. So this is what they will ask you. What kind of blocks? So I'll write it here. So contains only 2 blocks. That's it. So what are those? Node and stage. That's it. So you can see the sample code. So contains only 2 blocks, node and this stage. Okay. So node and the stage. That's it. So in the node, you will talk about where to execute, and in the stage, whether it is dev, QA, int, that will write. sh is a command where it will execute the script. Sh. Inside the sh, you need to write what should happen. So sh is like execution. So I don't know how many of you are aware of the Linux. Did you guys done with your Linux classes? How many of you are going on to the Linux class? Even sh is a command in the Linux to execute your scripts actually. sh is a Linux command to execute the scripts. The same command is being also used here. So, but this is Groovy. But I'm talking about Linux. A little comparison. Okay. Yeah. The next, if you talk about the declarative pipeline, in the declarative pipeline, you have these blocks. So this is, if you can tell, they will be more happy. So contains blocks like, see the words, agent, stages, steps. So pipeline, agents, stages, steps. Okay. Pipeline, agent, stages, and steps. So you need to use the words properly. Stages and steps. So what is the thing? So look at the example, guys. Once you look into the example, then you'll able to relate. See, pipeline is a word. It starts with pipeline. Open bracket, closed bracket here. See the open bracket and closed bracket. Agent. So any agent. I hope you guys are done with your distributed build setup now. So let's say if you want to get this done on client 1, then you'll write agent C1 or client 1 or client 2. You have to write the agent name there. If you say any, it will pick up the any computer which is vacant. So that is the significance there. Got it? So then see the stages. So I'm executing a stage called, see, stage open bracket, and where is the bracket, guys? See. So you need to understand, see, this bracket is opened here and closed here. and this bracket is opened here and closed here, and this bracket is opened here and closed here, and this bracket is opened here and closed here. Make sense? First of all, brackets you need to not to get confused with the brackets. So I hope these are very basic. Once you open the bracket, you need to close the bracket. So what you're writing in the each stage is important. So it starts with a common word called pipeline, agent, and then stages. Write your stage and what steps you are trying to execute in that stage. You need to write all the steps in that stage only. So actual steps or actual commands to execute in that build process, you will write it under the steps only, guys, using a word called sh. So that is what we do here. Correct? So this is a simple example. Now here it's you can see in the scripted. So it contains something called node stage. That's it. Node and stage. That is what we written. But here it contains a pipeline, agent, stages, and steps. I will ask you one question. If this was a simple example case, we're not trying to make it complex. So if this was a code, okay, tell me, I'll write it, I'll put it like this so that it's easy for you. Just let's say, if this was a code, I want you to, let's say, my stage will be, see, my stage will be development environment, dev I'll write, and I'm planning to restart the computer, restart the machine. How you'll write the code? Look at the same sample and write it. I want to see how many of you are, because this is all simple common sense only, guys. We're not planning to write or learn the Groovy. So Groovy learning is not required. So keep in mind, Groovy learning is not required. So we have already some standard document given by the Jenkins. So in that document, you already have the some sample codes. You need to pick up some sample codes and you need to know how to replace them. 80% of the work gets done in that fashion only, guys. So 20% is where even though you are a DevOps engineer, you will get in touch with some developer who is good in the Java or Groovy and ask him, please, can you help me with this? They will help you guys because you're not in the programming background. But if you have little programming background, you can handle it up to 100%. If you're not, I would say 60 to 70% you will handle, and rest 20 or 30% you will look at your team member who can help you. So that is common. So try to write it, guys. I want to write this. So my agent name is, I'll write 3 details. I want you to convert this into a code. My agent name is India1. Please write this code and give it to me. I'll give 2 minutes of time. Thereafter, I will write it on Notepad. So restart the machine. And the machine is Linux. I will write the code. I want to give a try, guys. I want you guys to give a try and give me the code. You need to focus on declarative pipelines, guys, not on scripted, because scripted is outdated now. We are not using scripted. We are using declarative. So I'll write it. Say I got the answer from Rahul. Somewhat his answer is correct. So this is what answer coming from Rahul. So P is not capital. We'll use small p only, pipeline. He opened the bracket, and at the end, so this is a bracket for it. Okay, we are keeping separate. Then he said agent. See, agent. What is my agent name? India1. So he written correctly agent1. Then he was talking about these stages. S small, not capital. Stages. Okay. Now in the stages, what stage? So my stage is a dev, development stage. I'll put dev in single quote. See, I'm just following it. Now in this dev stage, what I'm planning to write. So what I'm planning to do. Okay. Or you can write like this also. So stage is not stages you open the next. So in the stage, what I'm planning to do. What I'm planning to do, guys. This is also stage actually. So in this stage, I want to execute this command. So I'll say sh. What is the command of the Linux to restart the machine, guys? I told that my machine is Linux. What command you should write? Tell me the Linux command to restart. Can I say shutdown -r, which is a Linux knowledge? Simple logic. Shutdown -r. You can search on the Google. What is shutdown -r in the Linux? Shutdown -r in Linux. Reboots the shutdown. Say reboot after shutdown. Make sense? So this is one of the Linux commands which will help you to restart the machine. So my purpose is done. So once my purpose is done, so definitely I have to close this stage, because in that stage I'm executing this command. Then I'm closing the stages also, right? So that is what. Make sense? Easy? Easy, guys. So this we opened, we closed here. This we opened, we closed here. This we opened, we closed here. So just a common sense applied and we filled out our code, right? So can you do this, guys? This kind of small exercises. So agent means the computer on which you need to execute. If you say any, it can happen on master or it can happen on slave. So whoever is vacant. If you specifically say India 1, what does it mean? There should be a client computer, a slave machine, which name is India 1. Got it now? So did we complete the distributed setup concept? So my assumption is I have a slave called India 1. That is the meaning. If I say any, it does not matter if it happens on master server or if it happens on the slave. Got it? Okay, now let's do some demo on pipeline creation process, guys. Okay. So now when you're writing the pipeline script, so we decide we know that how to write the script, or I mean to say, just got little idea what is a scripted pipelines, right? Declarative pipelines. Now you need to know how to, where to write the scripts. Okay. So I'll show it now. Just see what I'm doing. Open up your Jenkins, localhost 8080, Jenkins_admin, sign in. Now click on the new item. Earlier we used to select the freestyle, but this time don't select the freestyle. When your intention is to write the script, guys, you have to go with pipeline. Okay. So we'll say pipeline experiment. We'll select pipeline and click OK. So we are here. Now, how many options tabs are there for pipeline? How many tabs do you see? Confirm. How many tabs do you see, guys? There are three tabs. Three tabs, right? So what are those? General tab, advanced project options, and then pipeline. Okay. Now you see what is there in general. So do you feel some of the options are familiar to you? Check it. You check the each option, guys. Most of the options that you look there are somewhat familiar to you. Do you agree? And here and there you'll find crazy options, new options, or you can say something new. So if something is new, we are not worried. The reason is there is a question mark there. You click on the question mark and try to know about it. Read the help statement that you're getting there and understand it. If not, use it Google. So that's the only answer we have. So whatever the option that you see, most of them are familiar to you. So we are not worried about general. Okay. The next, go to the build triggers, guys. Is it okay? Most of the options look same. Again, same logic. So we are also not worried here. Most of the options. Okay. The next step. How about advanced project options? It looks somewhat new. Entirely it is new. So click on advanced. What is there here? Nothing. You have to just give a name for it. Nothing else. Clear on this? You have to give some name only. So I'll say this is this sample one. That's the only thing. Advanced project options, you have to give some display name. Then most interesting concept is the third tab, pipeline. This one only. Clear? So this is where you have to focus. You can ignore this, or I can say you already know this because the options are familiar. The only thing is you need to focus is pipeline. This is where you need to know little more. So in the pipeline, under the definition, you are given two choices. So come back to the notes. So you are given two choices. You can directly write this script there. That is called pipeline script. So in this method, what we do is the script is directly placed in the Jenkins pipeline editor. So that is nothing but here. See, pipeline script option, and you have to write directly put the script here. Have you understood, guys, what I'm telling? Confirm. So whatever the code that you guys develop, you have to directly put it here. You write it on Notepad or you write it somewhere. It does not matter. Just copy paste it, or you directly write it here also is fine. So that is what it is trying to tell you. Now, right? So next option is this one. Pipeline script from SCM. This option is little tricky. So that means I'm talking about next option here. This option. Next one. So pipeline script from SCM. So I'm talking about this option now. So when you select this option, what happens is that is nothing but this one. So here, what does it mean is the code is not written here. The code is written in the repo. So let's say you have a repo where the application is sitting in it or application code is sitting in it. And in the repo, in the same place, inside of the repo, you have a file called Jenkins file. You need to write the code in Jenkins file. The name of the file should be Jenkins file, guys. Okay. Like for a Maven, I told you, right? Maven, the configuration stuff is written in pom.xml, right? Pom.xml. I repeat once again. For a Maven, if you compare the little comparative knowledge, for a Maven, we used to write the build configuration in pom.xml, correct? But if you're talking about the Maven here, Maven, if you're talking about the, sorry, Maven, it is pom.xml. But if you're talking about the Jenkins pipeline script from SCM, if you select that option, it means that you need to write the code in a file called Jenkins file, and this file should be written in the repo only. In the repo at the parent level. So what do you mean by the parent level, guys? Any example on parent? So let's say there is a ABC folder. Inside of ABC, let's say there is a EDF folder. Inside of EDF folder, you have something called GHJ folder. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Right? Likewise, I'm written. So this is a, so I can say in ABC, you'll have DF. Under DF, I can have GHJ. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is you need to write the Jenkins file in this folder, in the parent. You understood what I'm talking? Am I clear? So Jenkins file should be written in the parent location of the repo. No, DEF is a child of ABC. See, DEF is a child of ABC, and ABC itself is a repo. See, I'll show you one similar example in the repos here from the project, where our guys also do the same thing. They will write this scripts, build scripts in the parent folder only. They don't put it at some other place. So just a little comparison to make you understand. So if I ask a question like this, where is this file is located? Who is the parent for this? There is a file called version.json. Just an example, guys. Just an example. Who is the parent of this version.json? Tell me. That is wrong. It is not the test. If you expand the test, I see these files. You understood? I'm closing the test, but these files like version.json, package.log, nuget.config, build, see, build script is here only. See, that is what I'm telling. Build a file, build.ps means PowerShell script. So this PowerShell script is sitting in the parent location of the repo. So repo name is admin.webapp. So under this, you'll have lot of folders. It is sitting at parent location. Make sense, guys? Understood what I'm telling you? So another example to make you understand. I'll pick up from yesterday's Maven class so that you'll get into your brains. Hold on. Where is this Maven link? Okay. So we'll look into this link. You'll easily catch what I'm trying to tell about parent. So where is this pom.xml? Is it in the parent location of the repo? Make sense? Even readme.md is a parent location of the repo. Git.ignore is in the parent location, correct? So pom.xml is not inside of any other folder here. So pom.xml is under the parent location of the repo. So what is the repo name? Maven-project. Did you understand, guys, what I'm trying to tell you about this now? So Jenkins file should be the parent location of the repo. Got it? So now the conclusion story is, So generally Jenkins file contains your pipeline as a code. Pipeline as a code. That means you write the code there. Groovy script, instead of directly copy pasting in editor, will write this. Normally, if you're writing, you will be aware that you will have to keep it here. But generally, sometimes in your project, what happens is developers write the code, and in that Jenkins file, there are chances that they'll keep this file under some other folder. So you have to educate them, or you have to take care that this file is sitting in the parent location. Clear? And some developers, what they do is, if they are good with the pipeline as a code, they will write the code, they'll keep the file in parent only, but the file name will not be Jenkins file. They'll give some XYZ file. So wherever you're writing the Groovy script for your Jenkins build, please make sure that the file name is Jenkins file. Okay, J capital and F is small. Please write this in your notes. J is capital and F is small, and no extensions. No extensions, no dot document, no dot txt, no dot pdf, nothing, no extensions. Just J capital, Jenkins, F small. Got it? And what kind of version control system you are using? Put it that. That's it, and provide the repo link location, credentials, and where it is. That's it. And add the path and go for build process. It will happen. Now here, those who want to learn some syntaxes, how to write the pipeline syntaxes, there is a help page available. So click on the pipeline syntax here, and this will route to the page where you can refer to the documentation on how to write the Groovy scripting, guys. So this is an entire page of Groovy scripting. Now, interestingly, Jenkins has done some favor for us. For DevOps engineers, you can say those are not good in, let's say, coding. So they have given something called snippets. Do you know the meaning of snippets? Code snippets, guys. How many of you are not aware what is a code snippet or snippet generators we call? Please raise your hands. I'll tell you. Otherwise, I'll assume that you know it. I'll proceed. Code snippets, you guys don't know. China is well known for code snippets. Just similar use case, code snippets. See, whatever the product you develop qualitatively, just an example to make you understand what is code snippets. Huh? So let's say America is producing some beautiful car. Let's say some BMW. Can you please confirm? Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you is, uh, whatever the item or the product that is developed across the world. So there is a famous saying that same product can be created by a China in a duplicated fashion. Makes sense what I'm talking? Everybody knows this formula, no? So Chinese are well known for creating duplicates of the product, right? Or if I talk in that somewhat relevant to the IT standards, I'll say they are implementing snippet, replica, creating the actual original one. So replicas, right? So likewise here, so code snippets are nothing but, or snippet generators are nothing but, you tell the use case and it will generate a sample code for you. So you have to tell some use case. What is your use case? And it will generate a sample code for you. You have to copy that sample code, and develop it or replace it according to your use case and get it done. So sometimes the use case will be almost like 100% similar to you. So whatever code it generated, you can use it directly. So one sample you can see here. So these are code snippets, guys. See, this is called code snippet. So I want to RTC. Let's say I'll just an example. I'll take it. I want to print a message. Okay, print a message. My use case is to print a message. What message? Let's say welcome to India. Right. I'll say generate the pipeline script. So it said like this: echo welcome to India, and I'll go there, and here instead of putting in SCM, I'll put in scriptinator and put this here, and I'll say save, or let's try this latter. You have an option here that says try a sample pipeline. Say hello world, just an example. You see it generated a hello world. This is also code snippet only, kind of a code snippet. So you can say save and run this build now. So build is happening. You can click on here. So console output, it is success. Right now go back. So let's say same. Now this time I don't want to follow this. I just want to put my echo hello world, right? Which I got here. Correct. And I can click on save and run the pipeline. So go to the build number 3 and check your console output. It executed. So snippets are nothing but it is a kind of a help. You have to tell your use case what you're trying to do. Got it? See, a lot of use cases are given. Understanding the most popular things that you generally use in the Jenkins. So you have the snippets here, different use case, right? Sleep, shell script, a lot of things are there here. Execute in parallel, right? Set to the job properties, determine the, let's say, determine the current directory, generate the code snippets, PW. So this is a what. So you can go there, configure. So this is a use of code snippets, guys. But if you don't want to use code snippets, so let's say you're not finding your use case in the code snippets, then what you have to do is, I'll show you now. So then you have to spend time on reading this. See what is declarative online documentation. Okay. This will come to this page. Then you have to start reading, start getting with the pipelines, defining a pipeline, how to write pipeline, classic pipelines, right? So they will explain you in detail, guys, running the syntaxes and everything. See pipeline syntaxes here. So this is where you have to learn entire Groovy if required. Okay. If the demand is there, then we'll do. Otherwise, not required. Got it? So that is all about this pipeline scripts, guys. So pipeline scripts, either you have to put it in the editor or you have to write in the Jenkins pipeline. Whether you follow the documentation of the syntax, if you have the, let's say, if you see, guys, these syntaxes are very much can be helpful if you spend little time. See, what is this trying to do? So let's say I'm copy pasting this. You have to tell me. Little guys, some of you guys are little technical, I know. So tell me what this code is trying to do. So tell me guys what this code is trying to do. So it is trying to look for an agent, okay, which is a Docker, right? And yeah, so it is trying to see, it will print something called hello JDK on the screen or whatever it is. It will execute and it will execute a command called java hyphen version. So we know all this java hyphen version, there is a command. So what it is trying to do is it will get the java hyphen version from an agent, of the Docker. So a Docker, a name called Docker, which fits to a Docker, and in that a Docker machine where you see the OpenJDK installed, it is trying to get the Java version. So this is what the code is. So if you want to know how to write the code, if you're planning to learn Groovy scripting little more, so please spend time on reading that, guys. Otherwise, in a real time, frankly, I'm telling you, so unless they don't see the Java in your profile, so it's okay. If you see that you're already Java oriented candidate, straightly Groovy scripting is expected from you and you are capable enough to handle it. But if you are from non-Java background, so still they'll expect you to, okay, at least look into that snippets or look into that code generators and they'll expect you to write. But when you're writing, you can take or some development team will cooperate with you. Clear? So that's all about the Jenkins, guys. That's all about the Jenkins. And tomorrow we'll start a fresh concept called configuration management, which is our next tool, Ansible. Ansible. Now, I want to take one opinion from you. Okay. So I want to conduct some special classes on Saturday and Sunday. 2 hours. 2 and 2 hours, guys. 2 hours on Saturday and 2 hours on Sunday. Maybe around morning. So how many of you are okay with this? Please raise your hand. Night you will not have class. Sometime in the AM mornings. Maybe I'm expecting around 8 to 10. This an AM is a choice or 8 to 10 p.m. Either it's morning or it's evening, guys. Saturday and Sunday, I want to take not only for you, I want to take for all the batches that I take. This is a new innovative thought I'm planning to take because I want to finish off the course in time. So Saturday, Sunday, so I'll start handling something called Docker, and continuation of the Docker is Kubernetes, and continuation of the Kubernetes is shell scripting. Or this is what I'm planning. Docker, Kubernetes, shell scripting will sit on Saturday, Sunday classes 2 hours, Sunday 2 hours. Okay, consecutive Saturday, Sundays, guys. Okay, a lot of guys are don't want in the morning. People, okay, please not in the morning, sir. It's 2:30 a.m. for us. Okay. I'm guessing PM should be a good option for most of the people. Am I right? So I want to know now reverse engineering. How many of you are not good with 8 p.m., 8 to 10 p.m.? Because before I want to implement, I want to take the opinion first. Not okay. I want to know the people who are not okay at 8 to 10 p.m. So I'll create a special. I'll ask the team. See, once you guys are okay, then only I'll ask the Naresh IT team to create another login ID for this use case, which I'm going to share to all the batches. I'm guessing almost like more than 150 people will be there, where you will be sitting for Docker, Kubernetes, and shell scripting. No, even I have to talk to the other batches also. This is my plan and not yet decided. Kirti, you're not okay. I see your hand raised. 8 to 10 p.m. So forget about AM. So most of the guys say not okay. So we remove this option. Monica, how about you? Okay, so those who have trouble, please text it. Text it. I'm not knowing by your hand raise. So better you text it. Use your chat boxes and text it if you're not okay with 8 to 10 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. 2 minutes. Not okay. I'm talking about the people who are not okay. So this your batch should be ending somewhat March 1st week, March 1st or 2nd week. Okay, Bhagat is not okay. Morning is okay. So only one candidate. The rest of them are okay. Kirti, you're also morning is okay. Okay, fine. Yeah. No, this is not a decision, guys. Just only a to understand your minds. Okay, Monica is not okay. Fine. Only 2 people I see. No, Pawan, I'm just telling Saturday and Sunday, I want to take only to make sure that we complete in time. Otherwise, we have to sit more 1 week. That's it. That's the only difference at the same time. Okay. So that's all for the day, guys. And we'll catch up tomorrow as usual. Chalo. See you. Bye bye.